Hello dear listener, and welcome to Zealand. The world in which we are playing in will go to some dark places. The content of this series will therefore be violent and dark in nature, so if you find yourself easily offended or are rather squeamish, please do look away.
Kia ora guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is chapter 2 of season 2, Down the Rabbit Hole. It has been a while since our last game, so we're going to need a little bit of a refresher of what happened in the last episode. So, at the very start, I went missing. And a boat was missing as well. And with that, this one on the couch here joined us, who was being kept prisoner, held by these other people that the others were just becoming to know. These, well, friends of theirs. Well, maybe friends is a strong word, right? It's not quite a friendship yet, but it's the start of one at the very least. At that point, the group splintered into different, smaller groups. Scott choosing to remain on the boat, Chloe choosing to remain in one of the bunkhouses on the island, and Skulk, Nick, and Jake heading off with Jonah and Kevin into the bush, following a cable, trying to track down where this would go. They eventually came to what appeared to be a hole in the ground, surrounded by a mudslide of sorts with water running down into it and a sound emerging from it. The sound of two things moaning and groaning and an ethereal music emerging from it. And, well, these island dwellers, these friends of theirs, lost one of their own, Flip, who had some pretty strong opinions about our friend who's sitting in the middle here on the couch.
I'm not in the middle.
Well, yeah, I mean, you nearly shot Flip, and then Skulk...
I technically did.
Skulk killed Flip. Flip was a threat to Skulk and had followed him into the woods, and during all of this, Triton did see someone that Flip was trailing. He didn't see who it was, but he saw that someone was trailing him. And that was all much earlier on in the day. Now we're going to return to Kevin, Jonah, Skulk, Nick, and Jake. Deep in the bush, they followed a path, a cable that led from the bunkhouse. And it's taken them a decent way into this bush. Do you have a problem with the word bush? What's your issue? Are you 5? Chloe is 5, apparently. We'll go with that. Anyway, this cable, it was traveling pretty much for the most part in this lower valley. And while it was a difficult walk, they managed to make it within a few hours. And that's where we found this, the hole. Don't, you 5-year-old! Of course I did. Of course. Of course. And this is where we are going to begin today. So, I'd like you all, this is you as well included, Nick, I'd like you to describe to me exactly where you are around this hole, and from there we are going to continue. Now,
we meet up? Physically,
I don't think you guys did yet, because I think it was Skulk and Nick looking down into the hole when we ended, and Jake, Jonah, and Kevin were still...
We were being, hyper cautious on the approach as well.
Yeah, and I think we backed off a bit, didn't we? Back to the, the tree line.
So.
Yes.
You had the initial, look down, then, we're not going to wait right here.
Yeah, I think it was, call us when you hear the music, I think. I asked, yeah.
And Jonah is close, but he's staying further away at the moment with rifle in hand. Yeah. He's got his eyes down on this hole at the moment, and he was kind of scoping it out, trying to see exactly what was going on. But to give you a better description of it now that you and Nick were here, you had a chance to actually see it a little bit closer. You can see the area around this hole it all kind of like flows down into it, and water is flowing down into it as well,
raining,
through
right?
different parts, and it is still raining at this point. It's not raining as bad as it was before, but it is still raining.
So is it like a sinkhole?
It is very much like a sinkhole. You can't tell how long this opening has been here for, but it seems to have been here, for at least, you'd say, actually, it's long enough. This isn't ancient, but it's also...
Didn't happen
It didn't happen yesterday. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And so that means that both you, so you're with Kevin and Jonah.
Yeah.
You two are still together.
Yep.
And you're still the closest.
We're waiting at the tree line because we looked in and we said we'll wait at the tree line for.
And I'm waiting on the radio.
These three.
Okay.
Waiting
All
for the
right.
call through to set it there.
Okay. Jonah stays further back, as I said before. He's off to the left-hand side of the hole, kind of scoping down. Both you and Nick started following up along the cable still, so you're probably over on this side at the moment currently. And Kevin does walk out from the trees, whether or not you choose to follow, and he does start to kind of like lean over. And I say lean because it is a decent incline going down into it at this point.
So, obviously the up top is north, right? Well, so up top is towards is higher.
No. So essentially it's flat.
Okay.
We're on a flat level at the moment. There is a slight incline on this top.
Okay.
So you're slightly more.
So more or less, is it just water all flowing down there, or is there a few sort of small streams?
It's more streams. Yeah. So it's not like big thing. It's like there's a few streams, and you can still hear faintly beneath the music. You can hear.
Yeah, so I'd want to walk. Well, I guess meet up with Nick and Skulk, Isaac.
Okay, you don't know exactly where they are at this stage. You are still closer to Kevin at this point, and Kevin is kind of standing at the edge, and he does have his hand on his pistol at the moment, and he's leaning over.
So what's our play here? What are we going to do?
Have a look and see what's there, and then we can decide what we do. Sounds like there's at least 2 zombies there. That was what we got, right? It was at least.
It did sound like you heard 2 when it when the music was off. You could hear them much more clearly. It's difficult now.
So there's at least 2 down there.
They could have fallen down. The music's a little bit more unsettling for me, though.
Yeah. Is the generator still going as well, so we've got a little bit of cover from the rain and the generator.
You can hear a little bit of the hum of something.
Yeah.
Coming from down.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of things to cover our own noises.
Your own voices, yeah.
Now, obviously, we're still keeping it low.
Yeah. At this point, Skulk, you can actually see these 2 out on the other side. Yeah, so both you and Nick.
I would turn to Nick and say, should we just walk out?
Yeah, mate.
And we do, so we'll just get out of the tree line just so Kevin and Jay can see us.
Okay, alright. You emerge on either side, and you're kind of standing on either side of this hole at the moment. The cable is running directly down into it. Now, at this point, is anyone trying to look around this area at all? Is anyone investigating, or are we just kind of gazing with...
I'll be fixated on the hole, and then as soon as I saw them, I'll be fixated on them, and probably would work towards going towards that side.
Realistically, yeah, that's definitely the hole would be the focus.
Yeah, I would stay near the cable though, and if I see him coming, I'll wait for them to come to us.
And then once I get there, I just want to convey the information we have, the generator went out. Sorry, we turn the power off, they turn the generator on, so there's someone there. Obviously, they can hear the music.
Okay.
And that we heard at least 2 zombie moans.
Okay.
I guess.
Didn't you hear 2 voices as well? I'm certain you heard 2
voices.
No,
you did hear what sounded like someone angry.
Yeah, someone got angry.
Okay, so Kevin's like, okay. And so he starts trying to make his way around the outside, kind of moving over towards where Jonah is. He sees Jonah in the tree line, kind of gives him a little nod. I need both you and Kevin to roll athletics while you're moving around here. Athletics or acrobatics, whichever you...
We don't have acrobatics.
We don't have acrobatics. This isn't D&D. Acrobatics is under athletics, so you can use your athletics.
Fucking... Oh my god.
You know the worst roll you can get? It's 1 less.
Okay. It's good to know. Now, this is just flat at this point here. This is just to see how you do as you are kind of walking across at this moment.
Terribly.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Alright, so... As Kevin starts to walk around the edge, you can see him like slip a little bit, and he kind of like he's kind of trying to easily kind of still skirt around the outside at this point. You take a little bit more of a straightforward approach. A little bit more confident perhaps in your footing and the way that you're stepping at the moment. You begin to walk behind Kevin, but you do find your foot slip out from underneath of you, and you kind of like land on your side. And before you know it, with the rain flowing, you find yourself falling, slipping down this embankment
I thought it was flat.
towards the hole. The area around it is flat. The whole area around the hole itself, all this green, etc., that is going down, is flowing down into it.
All right.
And so you find yourself slipping, falling down this. Kevin sees you, tries to reach for you, but doesn't get to you in time.
All right, well, can I start using like, the butt of the gun to
To try and brace yourself, to try and stop yourself?
Try to get my feet out, and then the gun, and then try to just...
Indeed you can. I'll need you to do another athletics check.
Oh,
this
why
time,
that? Why
this
not-
time
why
it
not
is going
grappling?
to be...
Grapple.
It's going to be minus 10 to your roll this time, because you are moving with speed. Let's see if you can slow yourself down.
I am. It's 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, let me remind you, you do have sigils as well, so you can use those.
I only have 3.
You have
Okay.
3 sigils? What's that like?
All right. So,
Feels dangerous.
It's 1 negative 2.
Feels so
Yeah,
vulnerable.
Nick, you're in a.
with that, Skulk, you do see, Skulk and Nick, you do see Jake lose his footing. He starts slipping down, and just before he reaches the edge, he manages to dig the butt of his gun into the ground and stops just as his feet start to go over the edge of this hole itself. Around the outside of the hole, it's much more rocky, and you actually do kind of kick a few stones in down over the edge. And as you come to a stop,
Echo down into it.
yes, and as you come to a stop, you do hear
Yeah.
That's not scary at all.
That's just how Russians sound.
Oh,
Jake.
right. Right, my feet are over.
And
Obviously,
then-
my feet are
and
over. I
at
want
that
to
point
bring
you
them...
realise that you've been leaning down on the thing, and Chloe's just been breathing very heavily down the wall.
Oh, yeah, so as soon as my feet go over, I want to bring my feet back onto the rocks more.
Okay.
Keeping the gun quite firmly in the butt of the gun quite firmly in the ground until I feel I'm not just required, not just needing that, and then I'll my hand up.
Okay.
Like Kevin or whoever's closest.
All right. At this point,
What are these distances? Like, how big is this hole?
Yeah, that's to be
About
fair.
200.
Am I going to need to say put my gun up there so they can grab that and
So-
pull me out, or
so to give you an idea, like the cable isn't like massively thick, right? So
Yeah.
this isn't a super big hole. To give you scale, you would be about that big
okay?
in this hole.
So,
So,
okay, like
so,
two
so,
persons
so
in
you
one
here, yeah.
So if my feet are where it's really rocky, my
This is you
ass
here.
is sort of just where it starts to get grass.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So you're able to
So,
start to push yourself up a little bit.
If I've got a hand up like this, someone should be able to more or less grab it.
Okay.
Okay.
So at this point, you do see Jonah and Kevin emerge from the trees, and
Well, I do.
yeah, and you can see that Jonah has grabbed. He's kind of looks like he's got some kind of almost like a climbing rope of sorts, and he's got it tied around a tree, and he ends up just like grabbing that bit and throwing the end of it down towards you.
Right.
And Kevin's kind of standing on the side, apprehensive at the moment.
Does he have his
And it's
gun
all
drawn?
kind of go down. No, it's pistol still holstered at this point.
So I'll grab that and hold my gun tight like that, sort of roll over someone onto my belly, and then sort of once I've got more of a footing. The gun has a sling?
The gun doesn't have a sling.
What
No,
gun do you have again?
It's the bullpup.
the bullpups. Well, your flak jackets, you did have a way to clip them on. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, yeah, then I'll
So
put it
you-
on so I can
you
use
can
two
clip-
hands and...
But it
But
is
I'll
going to be
pull-
in front of you type thing.
Yeah.
You could just throw the gun up.
Yeah, then I'll probably have to have like a throw roll.
Yes, and there's a chance that it could slip in.
Yeah,
I mean, like, there's always a
I-
chance that anything
I
could
don't.
happen.
I've never thrown a gun before, so I'm not too confident
Okay.
at it. Sorry, in game.
Yes.
So I clip it on. I'll pull on it as much as I can without putting my weight back, making sure that they've got a good hold onto it, and then I'll start
Okay.
walking up.
I need you to do athletics, and I'm going to give you a plus 20 to this
That's not bad.
because you have a rope.
Oh,
Nah, fuck, you're like close, but no.
5 over or something.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So what number did you roll?
67.
67, and you failed on the 67. Okay. All right. Alright, so... And you're not going to use the sigil, not going to re-roll? It's completely up to you.
Am I gonna fall one? It's a good chance.
The thing is, Jake, if it's plus 20, you just have to get under 62. That's like over half.
It's a decent chance.
Your path. And if you fail, you might fall into a big hole.
Yeah, trick. Yeah, no, reroll.
Okay, you are going to use a sigil.
There you go.
There you go.
13.
Okay. Alright, so as you grab hold of the rope and you start kind of going up, you slip for a second, losing it, but you do kind of grab a hold again and start bringing yourself up bit by bit, leaving the rest of the rope behind you. And once you do get high enough, Kev does offer you out his hand and he helps you get back up.
Well, this is
Close, but cool. Let's go nice and easy, nice and slow from now on.
while this is happening, I just want to have a look, like scan the trees around, just make sure no one else is watching us.
Okay, sure. So you're just going to do just like a general to look
Yeah, I
around.
just
You're
wanna
not
see
looking
if-
for anything specific.
No,
Okay.
I would say people, so anything that's not supposed to be there. So people, any objects or something, just that I can see from my position. Just
Okay.
because someone dug,
Anything
someone
out of
didn't-
place, basically.
Yeah, someone didn't dig this hole, but someone put stuff here, so it might still be. There clearly has to be someone still here.
Fair enough. Okay, so I'd like you to roll perception, and unless you are actually investigating, it sounded like it was more like a general kind of look around.
I'm not going to go and do it, so.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to give you a plus 20 to this.
So that would be.
You have to get under 61.
I'm not going to sigil it. 18.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, while all this madness is going on, you're standing out on the edge at the moment. You start looking around to try and see if there's anything that can catch your eye. First, you're looking for others that might be watching, anyone else that could have followed you out here. It's at this point that you notice on the other side of here, kind of almost where Jonah and everyone else is at this point, looking through this kind of block of trees here, you can see that there is an area where the vegetation has been disturbed by like quite a wide radius. You can almost see what looks to be like kind of like, you know, when a track's been worn down over time by feet, but it's much wider than just normal foot traffic, than just a foot trail you might have seen before.
Is it like car size or not car size?
Not car size. I'd say it's probably more like this wide.
I elbowed Nick, and I just. Well,
How much hit points is that?
yeah. And I just point and quietly just say, "There's a track over there." And I point. Well, I point like this, so it's not, you know. So just quietly going, right. There's a track over there.
Okay. I have no idea what that would be.
I just always like, and well, after this, after we look around the hole or something, I think that might be a good thing to check out, because I'm guessing
Yeah.
that's probably leads to whomever did this. And I say all this very quietly, so
Okay.
just Nick and
Just
Jared.
you two can hear this. Okay. At this point, Jake, you are back up on your feet.
Let's keep going around to.
Okay, moving around. Okay, so the others, they all move together, and you move a lot
Probably
more
I'll
cautiously
be
this time.
walking more towards the tree line.
Okay. Yep. Okay, and
There's
you
branches I
all
can
do,
grab.
as Skulk and Nick are talking to each other over this point here, you all make it round onto the side by the cable itself.
Right. So, we when we got here, when we got them to turn the generator off, or the battery off, whatever it was, we heard a couple of moans. Sounds like at least 2 zombies there. At least one guy speaking Russian or something, and he obviously you can hear the generator. He's got a
Yeah,
generator down there.
yeah, we heard the moans as well. Didn't hear anything else other than the music, though. And then I also just slyly point in the direction of the path, and I just say, "There's a track over there that seems well worn." And I guess whomever did this might be in that direction.
I'll go check it out. Let's see what it is.
Is that?
Jonah. The guy that's on the screen
The guy.
currently.
Oh crap! I
Yeah.
was looking at you.
No.
Yeah.
Question though. Have you and the
Well, I was going to say ginger fella, but he actually knows you better than anyone else, Nick. So yeah.
If you and Nick are here, who's back home?
The other two.
When you were calling, I thought you were just bringing one, not both of them. What do we got back home right now? In terms of people and weapons?
Everyone else? Whatever weapons you guys have?
Not many.
If any.
We got one person with combat training. That's about it. They don't have a gun.
Are you saying only you two have guns here?
Both me and Kevin are armed, yes. The others aren't. Didn't realize you were coming along for the ride as well. He motions to you, Nick. So who's back there?
Everyone else.
Your mate with the one leg? And the other one with the broken one?
What Scott is on the
Yes.
Bloody great.
Is there something we should be worried about?
I don't know. We had a boat go missing. People are, well, a little angsty. As far as I was aware, you, looking at you again, Nick, were going to be taking care of things there while we were gone. I guess that changed.
There was no way I or someone in my group was going to walk through the forest at night alone.
It is nighttime, isn't it?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Isn't it? I thought it was. No.
It's like late afternoon at this point.
Okay.
All right. Well, one of us will go back.
Well, how would we?
Well, it's a bloody long
here,
walk back now.
Yeah.
We're here now. We might as well do this. I just wasn't anticipating seeing another. We'll see what this trail is, if you're alright with that, Kevin. And then we'll see what's going on with this bloody hole.
All right, I'm good for it. Nick, you good for this?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, Jonah takes off with a little bit more pace away from the hole, towards the other side where there seems to be this trail of sorts. As you get towards it, I need everyone to roll perception for me. I'm going to give you a plus 20 to this.
And I'm going to spending a sigil.
Okay.
So I just need to hit under 86, 300. Did you roll that one?
I pass.
93.
Okay.
And I got a 73, but that's good because I needed to hit an 886.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Nick, when you pass, just say I pass and what number. So not how far under. Sorry?
I was waiting for everyone else.
Okay, cool.
Past 52.
Cool. Okay, and you were pass.
73.
Okay, alright, fantastic. Okay, so both Skulk and Nick seem to notice something as you get towards this this trail, this pathway. It does kind of move up towards one of the ridge lines, and you can see that it's pretty much straight through, and it's really smooth. So the dirt, everything else that's kind of around it has been smoothed away by whatever has been used to kind of to move through here. And the way that feet wear down a track over time, something has been wearing this down as well.
So is it uniform?
It's pretty uniform. It's pretty uniform.
So it's
for the
like,
most part.
for example, as of a like a steamroller type thing would have gone.
Yeah.
Similar to that, yes.
So it's, okay, so we can't see like tire tracks over like a buggy or something.
And while Nick is looking at that, Skulk, you see something off to the side, the left-hand side of this trail.
Okay.
Catches your eye. There's a little bit of movement in the wind, and you can see what looks to be almost like a tarpaulin of sorts that's covering something. It's a tarpaulin, but it isn't brightly coloured. This is like a camouflage tarpaulin, if you will. And it seems to be weighing something down. There are heavy stones that are placed around it. And when you kind of noticed that this thing was a tarp and it wasn't just part of the bush itself, you could tell that something had been hidden here.
Okay. How far away is everyone else from you? Or is this like mid-walk, or are we standing still looking at the trail when...
You're all around the trail right now, but you are the only person that's noticed this.
Okay. While everyone's sort of looking that way, I'll make sure I'm keeping an eye on behind as well.
Okay, all right. Jonah's with you on that. He's scope out, looking out towards the hole and around.
And so is Kevin in front?
Kevin is in front, a little bit further up that trail, kind of trying to look to see if there is anything else. He hasn't said or mentioned anything that he's seen along the way.
I tap him on his left shoulder.
Okay. All right. He spins around to face you.
As he spins around, so my hands in front of his face, I just go, and I point at the toe. And I look to see if Nick sees what I'm doing. So I can just go.
Nick, you would see him do this.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Kevin unholsters his pistol, and he takes it out and he starts to move towards this tarpaulin.
I take out my machetes and I move up with him behind him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I follow.
He motions to you, Nick. He motions and he kind of motions like down towards it.
So
The best I could do. I'm sorry.
fuck you too, buddy. So okay, I guess I take that as pick it up or show the.
You can take it
thing.
as
So I
however you
start-
want. No one's
I know.
talking right
So
now.
I start taking the stones off and whatever's holding it down.
Okay. As you
Detail.
lift it up and pull it up, you're pulling it pretty slowly.
Yep.
Okay, beneath you see what looks like a winch. Not a winch, a winch. A metal winch with a large rung of cable. Part of this seems to be anchored around a large tree that the tarpaulin is actually up against. And that's what's under the tarp.
Can we see where the cable is going from the winch?
Where it's going from, so it's essentially all spooled up at this
so
point,
it's-
and it's
okay.
anchored around the tree.
Okay, so there's no, so it's not like leading off somewhere.
No, 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 and it's kind of right adjacent to this big trail.
I'm guessing, I say quietly to Kevin and Nick, this is what they drag something from wherever to here using the winch.
Yeah. At the very least, we might have a way down. We can use that, maybe. That or Jonas rope.
Have fun with that.
Either we're going to go down, we're going to see what's going on, we're going to see who's leeching this power, or we're going to walk away. That's our option here. I don't feel comfortable with leaving our people alone for too long. This has already taken a lot longer than I wanted. Things are uneasy back there. They're not doing well.
Yeah, I spent a month in a hole. I'm not volunteering to climb down another one.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm fine to walk away right now. My people out there, getting back to them, that's my responsibility right now. If you want to go down, if you want to see what's at the bottom, that's your prerogative.
Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, going down into the unknown when we've heard noises coming out does not really appeal.
What if we just check like, how far this trail goes up?
I need everyone to
Yeah,
roll
that
perception
could
for me
be
right
a
now.
long time.
No, just like no bonuses, just flat perception.
Sergio,
Okay?
I passed 3.
right past 57.
How much luck are you doing
Yeah. 69!
69! I think you should get a
Fail?
bonus
Yeah.
for that.
Okay, right. Okay. So Skulk, you notice this. Obviously, Nick, you notice this as well.
I'm just like,
As you're kind of talking, first you hear something in the background, but as Kevin is giving his spiel, you can see Jonah going backwards along his rope down towards the hole.
I say nothing.
Okay, Nick, you see the same thing.
What I see, because him and I were looking towards that direction.
Yeah, you're looking out at the moment, and he's starting to go down. You didn't. You failed your perception.
But you're
I mean,
looking
you're
somewhere
looking. Yeah. So
So I'm
essentially,
looking towards them,
So essentially,
and I
at
can't
this
see it.
moment, you're looking at a different section. Like, so he's obviously watching you,
Ooh,
and he's
butterfly.
going go down. And so
while
you're
you're
essentially
distracted.
scanning another point. They notice before you. You'll probably notice at some point.
I say nothing. I just come to you saying, let's go up the trail. We might,
Yeah, I just continue talking,
Yeah,
watching, but talking.
yeah, we might.
Saying, yeah, the trail could be forever, it could be ages though.
Why don't we just give it
So-
like 10, 20 minutes to see if... I mean, like, there's a winch. This winch only has a certain amount of...
He's gone at this
Yeah,
point.
I was keeping an eye on him.
Okay.
It only
Yeah,
has
so
a
was
certain
I.
amount of... I mean, like, what, 100 meters at most, probably? Let's just follow how far this rope would go and see if we get to another clue.
Well, I would, but not Jonah's disappeared. So.
That's fair.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jonah!
I just go, shut up, man.
Where's he gone?
And down the hole. Oh, hang on, I point behind you. Down the hole.
You hear nothing back from the hole. Oh, well, for fuck's sake. And then Kevin, like he's looking at everyone. Okay, fuck. He goes towards the hole. And he makes his way over towards where his rope is.
Good teamwork.
And ends up kind of like holding onto it, and he's kind of like leaning over the edge trying to see down.
If he's doing that, if I'm paying attention.
Yeah,
now.
interject at any time you want, but everything's
even though he's holding
happening.
on, I sort of want to grab him somewhere to hold him to just,
Yeah, I'm staying back at the winch.
Thank you. Okay, he starts making his way down slowly.
Can Kevin use a jump?
At this point, his pistol is holstered. He's not kind of going 2 in 1. Okay, he slips a little bit, but he catches himself again. Okay, are you still going down with him, holding onto him, or did you release him?
How far he's gone down? And so I'm assuming we can't sort of get on our bellies and look down. And
yeah, you could if you get towards the edge, but everything around it is slippery as hell.
Yeah.
So that's the problem: is getting towards it. You're going down an embankment. It's slippery as hell, and then it kind of levels out as it kind of like goes in.
So one hand on him, one hand on the rope.
Okay, you're going down with him. I need you to roll athletics for me.
I'll go.
Dude, sigil it.
Oh dear.
Could sigil it, that'd be really funny.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's
It's a 0. This is going to be challenging for you. It's slippery as hell, and it's still raining.
Yeah, I know, but I'll sigil.
Okay, you're going to sigil?
Oh, no!
No, can I not sigil?
No, you're
No, you sigiled.
If he didn't, he would have hit on his skill level.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hate sigils.
That sucks.
sorry.
That really
Sorry.
Hand pressure.
Sorry.
You got this useless friend.
Hey, it was only Skulk who said.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
I
as he does kind of like lose himself for a moment, you lose yourself, but you kind of collect yourself in the moment.
I was hoping you would say.
I know, I was trying to go around it, and you make it towards the edge. It's at this point that Kevin does kind of get down a little bit more, and he starts to peer over, and he does kind of like reach back towards you. He's shaking quite a bit at this point, like he's quite anxious and nervous.
That?
Like yeah, his legs are trembling at this point as he's kind of like leaning over.
So just want to interject, sorry. While this is going on, I
Cut
just...
the rope.
Yeah.
Sorry if that was you knew. I'm sorry if that was.
No. I just want to give like the rope on the winch. I just want to give it a pull. Does it give easily?
Oh, it's a metal rope. So this is a metal winch.
Oh, crap.
Just to
What's at the end of the metal rope?
it like a big like hook like clink type
If I
thing.
pull on the thing, does it come? Does it start unspooling?
So you pull on the like nothing happens.
I can't like. Oh,
so you're pulling on the end of the cable, right? Yes, it does start to come out.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were pulling on like the return.
No. Like the pulling on the hook itself.
Okay. Yes, it does. It does come out. It seems to be relatively well oiled in that it's moving out with ease.
And if I do just take my hand across the thing, I can definitely feel.
You can
oil.
feel that there's oil on it. Like, well, not oil, grease. Sorry, grease is the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's lightning. Yeah. Do with that what you will.
Okay. That was. I just want to see if it could.
Thor is coming. Okay, so when I'm holding on to him, what am I holding on to? Because he's got a rain jacket on.
Yeah, you're holding on essentially onto the back of him. Yeah. He's not wearing a pack. Jonah is wearing a pack, or was wearing a pack.
No, he still is, presumably.
Can't see him now.
Alright, so if he's peering over the edge, I'd be like, what do you see?
You okay? Yeah. Fine. At this point, you can still hear music. But that's all.
Maybe he killed him, Nick.
You stand up there forever, you're gonna come down.
Does anyone?
I'm... Yeah, okay. Coming down. And did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
I've got one.
I don't have my backpack here anyway.
Have you done this before?
No.
Okay, good. We're on the same
How was
page.
that good?
We're on the same page. Okay, I'll go down first. I'll make sure it's safe. Safe for us, not just for him. And then I'll leave it up to you. I need to make sure that he's okay. If you need to go back, if you want to go back, that's up to you. Alright.
This sucks.
And he starts to, he starts to, like, try and go down. Okay, alright. So, he grabs a hold, looks you in the eye, and starts to, like, move towards the edge and starts to shimmy down over it, kind of, like, uncomfortably, so that his legs are dangling down at first, and then he starts to, like, go over, and you see him just kind of, like, drop. And then you hear, like, like his nylon rain jacket moving against the rope itself, going down over the edge.
Alright, I want to motion to these guys to bring the cable.
You can. Oh yeah. So you're being silently. Okay. All right. So take from that what you will, Nick and Skull.
Done the motions. Sorry.
I look at Skulk and just like...
I look at Nick, I'm like, you know what he's talking about?
No.
Nah, me neither. I inspect the winch. I'm like looking at it, just checking everything about it.
I would go and grab the rope.
I silently laugh at myself and I get the radio and go, bring the winch over.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Do I hear that?
No, you don't.
Okay, here we go.
Why don't I hear that?
Good question.
Dun, dun,
you're
dun.
deaf. Side effect of the broken leg.
my radio's still on, right?
It is still
I
on.
just don't
Yep.
hear that?
No, you don't hear that.
Did you actually radio us?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then
Yep, let's take it to him.
I take the winch over.
Okay. All right. Nick.
I stay at it. I stay at the winch. I stay at the winch.
With the radio, hopefully?
Yeah,
Sorry.
but
Okay.
radio between.
No, Nick has a radio, so I wouldn't have thought about it.
Okay. Sorry. Can you repeat that last bit?
Oh, I was,
Out of character.
yeah, I'll just get radio through, go, leave the... Do I see Nick, one person coming?
Yeah, Nick. If you're going to bring it over, bring it over.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll just radio through, just leave the, leave the radio of Skulk.
Okay, so I hand him the radio.
Don't sweep the radio.
At this point, you have no idea what's going on down below.
No.
I was like, and I'm just saying with the winch, like, if it needs to come back, return thing and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different.
Just so you know, you've been here for over an hour now. Okay.
Since we started today?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Nick's coming with that, then I'll sort of peek over and be like, how deep is it?
Peering over.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see down the bottom.
So I
it's
can
hard.
see-
It's hard to get an idea. It's hard to get a bearing of how far it is down. But you can see the rope kind of dangle down for a bit. You'd say maybe you're looking at about like 4 or 5 stories.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I'm fucking going down that.
Okay. All right.
I could not do that.
And you see Jonah kind of like looking up towards you. Mate, it's all right. Don't have to do it if you don't need to.
There's no way in hell I could do that. Even if I wanted to, I could not fucking...
Jake, I need you to roll something for me now. Let's see. We're going to get you to roll an intuition check for me. And it's going to be a plus 20 to this.
You've got it. You've got base intuition.
On it.
Okay,
50
fantastic.
seconds.
So 50 on it, with even with the additional, that's... Do I get the point for it?
Yeah, you get the point. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
You intuit
congratulations.
as perfectly as possible.
Congratulations. You notice that since they've been down there, and since like this back and forth has been going on, the music stopped.
Okay, well, I get my gun, take the safety off. How much of an area around there can I see?
Okay, so kind of moving around the edge carefully, You can see, obviously, from the light that's going down, the dim light, you can see right in the center is around where both Kevin and Jonah are. And Jonah's kind of looking up, like kind of squinting, because the rain is kind of still kind of going down off the edges, kind of plummeting down along the sides through these few creeks that are there. So you can't see much beyond like this beam that's kind of going down.
Yeah.
And it's kind of diffuses in there slightly, so you can't really see much at all from up here.
What do you see? Wait, I say the music's out as well. I'm like, what do you see? Oh, the music's out.
It stopped when I got down here. You want to flick that thing on? All right. And Kevin clicks on his torch. At this point, you can kind of see a little bit more of what's going on in there. Okay. So looking around the center of this place, you can see, like, right in the center of it, there is almost like where all the dirt and everything else is collecting. It's kind of similar to above, like where you saw something that's been used for a while, something that's been disturbing something. You can tell that the same kind of like pattern is in the dirt and the muck that's in here as well. You also see on the ground 2 dead bodies. These bodies have chains around their neck, and those chains are leading to the walls. They seem to be just outside of the light, but on opposite sides of this. So one on the left, one on the right.
That's not
2 dead people with chains around their necks on the ground.
So they're
and you see them when Kevin is putting his flashlight around, and he does kind of like linger for a second, and he goes around the rest.
Right, so the dead, not undead they are. Well, I look at them and they are just... They look like lifeless, unmoving bodies.
Yes.
Okay. I look back for
just to give you an explanation, it's difficult to see whether or not someone is infected dead from this distance. Yep. Bodies look like bodies,
yep,
unless they're missing parts, and these aren't missing any parts.
Okay. What else do you see?
There's a way forward. His light does linger. At this point you kind of can't see, but he is pointing off in this direction. Cable goes this way. And he's got his gun out, flashlight out, pointing down that way.
I'm getting the winch over here, so we can get that down so we can get you guys out when you guys want.
Okay,
I'll start pulling up the rope.
At this point, Nick, you're there with the winch.
Yep.
We start putting it down.
Yeah.
Start feeding it down.
Okay, you're feeding it down to them? Okay. Alright. At this point, you can see that Jonah is kind of like looking through the bodies that are down there, kind of looking at the chains and the rest. And Kevin is kind of cautiously moving, and you see him leave your sight. You keep on pulling the winch down, and it does eventually reach down to where they are.
Is that when I see like it coming out and stop? Is that all of it gone, or is there still?
There is still a little bit left on it. There's still a little bit, but not much. Yeah.
So I'll be okay, Nick. I'll keep an eye on down here, and you just keep looking around.
Okay.
No one can sneak up on us. And I want to pull up the rope and sort of. I guess it's tied to a tree, then, so I can't exactly completely get the rope.
Oh, the physical rope?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get it up until the point that it leaves the hole.
Yeah. But I can't, like, sort of get it wrapped around or whatever. I'm assuming it's attached to something.
No, it's attached to a tree up. Yeah, that's a
So, yeah, so I'll just sort of get it up and then just plonk it down.
Okay.
I also just want to keep an eye on the trail going away. Just in case something comes back.
Okay, great. So I need both you and Nick to roll perception for me.
I passed with 14.
Failed. 72.
Okay, great. All right, so you both stay on lookout, and during this period you don't notice anything in particular, but if you do, I'll be notifying you. Okay. Jake, the cable is all the way down the bottom at this point. You can't see Kevin any longer, but you can still see Jonah lingering there. And he's finished kind of going through what's on these people.
Are they dead, or are they dead or just dead?
They were, well, they weren't us. They were moaning, they were groaning. They were slow ones. but they haven't been that way for long.
Do you want to just get them in the head, just in, double tap, just in case?
This ain't my first rodeo, boy. I'm fine.
Fair enough.
You do your job, I'll do mine.
Yeah, fair enough. I muddled myself. You could go down the hole by yourself.
Okay.
It's not his first hole, dude.
And at this point, you do see Jonah leaving as well.
All I can do is just sort of keep an eye down there and then have a quick look around up top and then...
Okay. So everyone's staying on the surface, no one's going down?
I want to, but there's no way in hell I could, without a bloody harness, even with a harness, sorry, I probably wouldn't have the bloody announce to do that.
It's at that point that we're going to return to these two.
We're both in completely different places, though.
No, but you're in a different section of the map. We're going to be leaving this hole behind for the time being.
See, it's not actually the cable, it's a tunnel.
Going back to here.
Tower.
Yeah. So you're back over here. Okay, so Scott, when you've been doing your fishing throughout the day, you've just been kind of going about on the second chance. The second chance that we actually do have a chance to actually have a look at it. So we're going to go and zoom on into that so we can see what you've been doing while you've just been fishing the day away. Essentially on the back of it, there are 3 levels to the second chance. The third is, well, more of a sub-level than anything. But you've been on the back of it here. Yeah, exactly. So you've been just fishing off the back for the most part, just kind of like sitting down on these seats here, just minding your own business. You do hear upstairs a very static, crackled message come through.
Okay, so I hear it upstairs, but I don't hear it from my walkie.
No, you don't hear it from your walkie, you hear it from upstairs.
Okay, I head up to see what it is.
Okay, you make your way up there. Okay, it's by the time you get up there, it has finished.
Yep. Okay, I would at least stay for a little while just to see if I hear anything again.
Okay.
I'll turn the volume up a little bit further as well.
While you're doing that, I need you to roll a perception check for me. This is actually going to be a minus 40.
I automatically fail.
Okay.
What's your perception?
You can roll if you.
I can't.
No, you can't. Okay.
I'm 0.
You could use a sigil.
Oh, okay.
I can. I suppose I can use a sigil.
No, that's completely up to you.
Just putting a another option.
You don't have to. You don't need to.
Wait, so like,
so
I'd use a sigil.
Wait, so hang on. So just question though, just for clarification. Like, so if he's got 40, but it's minus 40, so it's 0.
Yeah.
If he gets a 0, is that a pass?
I can't.
You can roll 0 and
Can't roll
100.
You can't roll a 0.
Can just roll, if you roll all 3, like if all the numbers on a dice show 0, that's actually 100.
Oh,
The dice
right.
one-
so
one-
all you need to let me know
I
is
use
that
a sigil.
you can't succeed. Are you going to use a sigil?
So I have to roll 125.
Okay. All right.
For
40. I would have been a critical success without a modifier.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
That's
Second
some
time
shit.
today.
That's some shit.
Okay. Yep.
So,
So don't see
fail.
anything.
You don't see anything. Okay, that's
Okay.
all right.
Cool.
Okay, so time does continue on, and for you, Chloe, as well, sitting inside your in your little bunkhouse, which we'll go ahead and have a look at as well. Have you been up to anything in particular? You've just been sitting by the fireplace, which you guys did actually manage to get started, and you've been using the wood from the table to, well, the table, not the table, the
A side table.
side table, to keep yourself warm while you've been in there. Have you done anything in particular during this time? Just been kind of like looking out the window with like reflection and.
No?
No? Okay. All right. While you're in here, sitting down by the fireplace, you hear a voice outside.
Actually, hold on. Give me a second.
1 second. You hear a
Okay,
voice
no, it's fine.
outside.
Okay.
This voice is sounding angry, and you can hear it getting louder and louder.
Is it a voice I recognize or not?
Not immediately at first, because you don't quite hear it clearly. It sounds like it's coming from the other building.
Okay.
But eventually, you can hear. One moment, I'm just going to go get rid of Triton and Jonah. You hear a voice outside. I'm guessing hearing a little bit of commotion. You move over towards, see kind of what's going on. You see a man that you have seen wandering around before. outside. Yes. And you see him wander out, and he gets followed out by a few people, and you can hear him having what sounds like the tail end of a very heated discussion. Yeah. Yes. Well, it's my fucking boat. Why haven't they done anything about it? He wandered off into the fucking woods chasing a bloody cable. No one's done anything about my boat. I was gracious enough to share my vessels with all of you, you ungrateful shits. And what do I get for it? Nothing. Nothing. The policeman wanders off chasing things in the fucking bush. And you do hear someone kind of chasing after him, saying, please, Charlie, please, calm down, dear. Please, just come back inside. It'll be fine. It won't be fine.
Is voice high or deep?
It's this woman here. One moment, caller. You see her emerge as well, chasing after Charles, trying to calm him down. But you do kind of like see him like swat her hand away. He's like, no. Something needs to be done. And if the police officer is going to do nothing, then I will do something. I'm going to take one of my boats, and I'm going to go and find my boat, dear. That's what I'm going to do. We've sat here for long enough and nothing has been done. So that's what. And he turns and walks off. And you can see Holly, this woman, standing there with her hands in her hair. And you see another man kind of walk out from there who kind of does come up to her and kind of gives her a bit of a pat on the back.
Good job.
I don't think you've actually met this man before as well, but you do see him kind of come up. And you see him kind of like going, and he does bring her back towards the other place.
Okay.
All right. Triton.
Yeah.
Back on your boat. I need you to roll another. Well, it's your boat for now. You're owning that boat. I need you to roll a perception check for me again. At this point, I need you to roll that with a -10.
It's a bit better.
Get him better.
It's funny how things like that happen over time.
Fail 16.
Yeah, things get easier to hear or see when they get closer.
Yes, and that's why the numbers seem to be getting smaller. Strange that. Okay, you continue on fishing, as you do.
I'm actually up top at the moment, waiting to see if I hear a crack.
Okay,
and in the meantime, like while I'm kind of waiting, I'm just like perusing up in the cockpit at like drawers, cabinets, if there's anything there.
Okay.
Having a squiz.
Okay, all right. Can you roll investigation for me then, and I'll give you a +20 to that.
Fail 93. I re-roll.
Okay, you're spending a sigil.
Yeah.
Succeed 21.
Okay.
Fine, porno max.
Where's the plus? There's no more engineer.
You actually hit the nail on the head. You find Pornomax and a container which seems to house some white powder.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing I'm alone then.
Time for some heroin and porn.
Okay, all right. Among other things, yes. So that's what you find in amongst the things here. You do find one other thing as well, and this was kind of stashed behind these.
Yeah, even worse than heroin and porn.
You find what looks to be a captain's hat.
You piece of shit.
Put it on.
You piece of shit. That's my hat. I fucking hate you. I quit this game. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. We see him.
On.
We searched like 8 fucking boats, no hat. Scott just lucked
out. No more water droplets on the head.
When you put this hat on and you do see you kind of see yourself in the reflection of the glass, you're like, yeah, that's actually a pretty cool hat. When looking out of the second chance, looking over, as your eyes kind of like focus on the glass, seeing yourself, you do look over towards the flotilla of boats that are there, and you see a very, very large man that you have not seen before standing on one of the boats. He looks like freaking built, like real built. He is you'd say he's probably of either Maori or Polynesian descent, and he's just kind of like flittering around on one of the boats, and it's just someone that you haven't seen before.
How close is the boat to Second Chance? Is it like one of the ones like right beside it?
It's with the flotilla, so it's with the big flotilla.
Is he kind of looking in my direction?
No. He is. He's minding his own business at this point on the boats.
Leave it be, yeah.
You haven't seen anyone else on the boats at all at this point.
Ooh, that's a fair distance.
The flotilla isn't there. That's a lie.
Oh.
The flotilla and the cake are both lies. It's more like here.
It's not 2000.
This isn't actually Google Earth. It's Apple Earth.
I wait about 5 minutes. If I don't hear anything from the walkies or anything like that, I head back down to continue fishing.
Okay. When you head back down to continue fishing, I need you again to roll perception for me. This time it is going to be with a +10.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Don't give me that fucking total book.
Fail 86.
Just roll in the box. It's good luck.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Okay.
Not for me.
All right, you go out. You cast your line in. I need you to roll luck for me, or you can roll something else if you want.
Fishing.
Do you have a specialization in fishing?
Yes, I do. I've between the game sessions, I am now a specialized fisherman.
Well, there you go.
And this session, I am now a ship captain.
You are.
Your specialization
Your fancy
amount is the same as.
Yeah, but it starts off with the same.
Ah, right. So,
But he needs to roll it in order to spend some points on it.
Yes.
48 success.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well, actually, just once you kind of like get the line in there, it's only in there for a few moments before you feel that familiar tug. A tug that you're getting used to now, and you kind of get a feeling for the size of the fish that you might be fighting with. Because you've actually pulled up a lot of fish over the last, wee while you've been doing this. And so, yeah, you have a little bit of a fight, but the fish does get in. It takes around about 5 minutes of battling this thing, and it's kind of going back and forth, and it's actually like a really, really big, delicious looking snapper once you do get it in, and you're proud of this. So it takes a bit to get it up, and you kind of bring it on. Do you just immediately chuck it in the chiller, or do you do anything to kind of prepare it?
To be good, since I've just started fishing, I'm just going to collect it all in the chiller, and then I'll do all that afterwards.
Okay, all right. As you go to cast your second line in, again, I need you to roll perception for me. This time it is going to be a +30.
Oh, nice.
He's a
that's what I'm hearing, is the music getting louder.
Success 40.
Oh,
Success 40. Okay. As you cast the second line in, you catch a flash of something in the corner of your eye. Off the coast here, towards the beach. You swear, for a second, part of the coast, the beach itself, you thought you saw a flash of orange for a second. But as you kind of look over towards there, just the coast. So could have been something in the corner of your eye, might have been something, might have been nothing.
I get the binocs and look in that direction.
Okay, all right. With the binoculars, I'm going to give you a +50.
It's just me going
Success
for a run.
13.
Okay, all right. With the binoculars, you kind of go, because you pretty much almost got them on you almost always when you're on the boat, right? Okay, so now that you're specifically looking for something, you see a person moving very quickly just into the tree line here. And you do see that same orange, and it looks like a life vest. You see two others with this person, and they're moving at speed. They were on the beach for a moment, but now they're gone, out of your sight. So you try and find them again with the binoculars, but you can't.
Okay, so the only thing I saw was that they were wearing high-vis stuff.
You saw a life jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. An orange life jacket. Looks like the clothing they could have been wearing was maybe white, but it was hard to tell. Yeah, it wasn't coloured. The thing that was coloured on this humanoid was it wasn't a goblin. It was just this bright orange life vest.
Okay. And I saw them running from where to where?
You saw them running from
The beach.
coastline here into the trees. And that's where you lost them. So you saw a flash of orange around here somewhere, so you quickly got out the binoculars, you were looking, you managed to see a person and then two more. And they disappeared at pace into the tree line here, into the bush. It is open here, but you don't see them.
Okay, I go up to the walkies upstairs.
Okay, alright.
Don't you have one on you?
I message, I do, but I message or say, is anyone there?
Chloe,
I have it.
your radio crackles to life.
And I just heard that.
Yes, you do.
I answer. I say, "Yep, I'm here. What's up?"
It didn't see much, but I saw some guys in a bright orange life jacket running from the shoreline into the forest with two others, and I don't know. It looks like they were running pretty quickly, and I lost them. I don't know. Looking at the shore, that's on the right side of the shore. They're heading up towards the bush to the east of the encampment. Do you know anyone that was going diving or anything?
I heard the drunk guy was trying to leave, but I doubt that's him. I don't know. No, I haven't heard shit.
Chloe, roll perception for me.
Flat?
Flat.
Sergio.
Yeah, I'm going to use one of my six.
Very well.
That's Jake's.
Go ahead and use that for us.
34. It's plus 25, right?
Yeah, Sergio.
Plus 25.
I have to.
59.
59.
Yeah.
10 more. Nope.
90.
Okay, alright. Well, this long message from Scott does
I'm
start to
distracted.
settle in. Okay, but yeah, you don't... He says, have you heard anything? Have you seen anything? You mentioned the guy talking about the boat, but that's it.
I guess I talked back on it. I'm like, Jay, Nick, do you guys hear that?
You hear no
Hear
answer,
anything from them? Okay.
and you don't hear anything on your end.
Why? Where's Jake? Where's the others?
Wait, you would have heard them asking for Nick to come, wouldn't you? Did he not hear that?
Just a little bit too far.
Oh. They went into the bush to go after the cable.
He was chasing a game.
That's what it was, though. That's what it was.
I know, but the way it's right.
So no, I mean, I haven't heard back from them for a while, and they must be out of range if they're not hearing this either. Or ignoring. I mean, I guess keep ignoring me, not you.
Well, we can just hope it's one of the other group, but just keep an eye out. He's wearing a bright orange life jacket, it looked like, so shouldn't be too hard to spot.
Okay.
Chloe, roll perception for me. This time plus 20.
Nope.
Okay. Alright.
It's good. We're getting all the bad rolls out of the way at the beginning.
Mm. Yes, we are. We certainly are. Okay. Alright. You're just gonna chill?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't see what much else I can really do.
Alright. Okay. This time, slightly separate. I need you to roll perception for me again.
Me?
Yes. This time it's going to be a plus 40.
Plus 40. Okay.
Ooh.
Give me 4. 90.
Wow. Okay,
I'm going to re-roll that one, actually.
So, Sergio.
you're going to spend another sigil, so you just spent 2 sigils, correct?
I've spent 2 in total now, yes. And
Okay, so
I've
you
passed
only spent
22.
1 to re-roll, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I got a 22 pass.
Okay. It's interesting because, like, you all don't know what are important roles, what aren't important roles. Ones that
No,
you
but
might
like,
have...
I have 5. I might as well. It's kind of like I have so many. It's dumb if I don't use them.
Like, you see a mouse in the corner of the room.
Oh, I'm so glad I used a sigil on that.
Okay. You see Holly walking outside, outside in the rain, and she starts walking up towards where you are.
Okay. I still have that gun on me, yes?
You do?
It's in my coat.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like, do you have out?
So yeah, you just see her kind of like walking up, and it looks like she might be walking towards your place at this point.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You sit, you wait. You're just looking at it through the glass.
I suppose so. Yeah, I see someone coming towards our place. I guess I look at them.
Okay. All right.
Stare at them with bright eyed.
Well, no, but just then I kind of like, oh, someone's coming.
Just give them the death stare.
All right. Okay. You see her walking towards you, and she kind of does notice you, and she gives you like a polite smile.
Yeah, I give her one back.
And as she nears your place, you catch something out the corner of your eye. A flash of orange. And before you know it, 2 people emerge from the tree line here, running past at speed, and one hits her right in the side, and she's down on the ground. And before you know it, another is down on top of her. Blood. Tear. You see red on one's face, and you see eyes looking at you, looking out the window. You see a thing, one of these creatures that you've come to know as the Plague, staring directly at you with blood and viscera in its mouth. And it charges straight towards you.
Well, there's a glass door in the way.
There's also a window in the way. And as it charges towards you, that is where we're going to finish today's session.
Okay.
Dun, dun. Dun, run.
Thank you all for joining us. We're in the middle of something special, and we'll see where that takes us in the next. Thank you all for joining us for this chapter. I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.